What's going on, guys? Welcome to The Level With You Show, episode 40. Wow, we made it into double digits time 4. My name is Wiley Olmstead, your host, and this week I am joined by the Duartistic one, Anthony Duart.
You're my favorite deputy.
The Dominican Bakugo, Kenny Castro.
What the hell is an Applesauce podcast?
Apparently, they don't even know who I am. So
It's all good.
Yeah, I don't know,
man.
And the phantom producer himself, Tyler Hadley.
Here we go again. 40
All right, we have a big
episodes.
show for you today. We got a lot of news. We got a lot of games we've been playing. We got a lot of stuff to address, like the fact that you can now register for our upcoming Smash tournament on what's the URL, Tyler?
URL is smash.gg/LVL focus.
All right, very good. So this is going to be a premier tournament downtown Springfield with all types of fancy TV production that you can register for on the URL that Tyler just stated. If you're in the Western Massachusetts area or in the surrounding Connecticut or however you want to get here, please register. It's going to be a good time. And we've also had some news as far as streaming goes. Kenny is now up and running at his house.
Yes, I'm super excited.
We better go catch it.
All right. You guys are freaking me out.
It's okay.
This is why me and Anthony can't be next to each other sometimes.
Yeah.
Wendy's and just random noises.
Hey, check this out.
All right, so you got that new PC.
yes, super excited. Had Tyler over. We ate some Ruffles, flaming hot chips while we were building right after we built the PC.
Okay.
You know, so it was there, and I'm like, shit, I want to turn it on, and then no graphics card.
Mm-hmm.
The graphics
The
card came
whole
in
inside
Sunday.
of the PC is just red flaming hot dust.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
flaming hot dust in there. We didn't even cover it up when we were eating, and we were like, fuck it.
It's just gonna help the PC if anything.
And listen, it was running like a racehorse. I was like, oh shit, it's running on flaming hot right now.
Hell yeah. We should get that
Nice.
cooling in there. That's what that comes for.
I know that Cool Ranch.
Ooh, I had a Cool Ranch chalupa this weekend. Not chalupa, cheesy gordita crunch. You ever do that at Taco Bell?
I've heard that they have Doritos tacos. I don't know if I've ever actually had one.
They're pretty good. You can put them in the cheesy gordita crunch too to sub out the regular taco. Highly recommend.
The regular hard taco, sub it out.
Sounds good.
Highly
Cool Ranch
recommend
Dorito chip one.
It's so good. Or nacho cheese, depending on your mood.
Chalupas are pretty good. Those are the ones with the soft on the outside.
I love chalupas, man.
Yeah, those are legit, I have to say.
They're so good. I like the double chalupas too, the big fat ass ones they give
Oh,
you.
yeah.
But those are just like you pick it up and I'm like usually pretty drunk when I'm eating them. So it's like, but then the next thing you know, it's like everywhere. It's got that big heavy
Just
bottom.
like you like it everywhere. Like
Oh man, yeah. No, when I'm eating, I'm a little tipsy. I'm messy. I don't really care. I'm just gonna go to town.
In other taco-related news, have you guys seen those El Paso tacos that just stand up on themselves?
yeah, like that. Now they have the
What?
square bottoms.
Yeah.
That you just sit them there.
Like, that's genius.
That is.
oh yeah,
I agree.
they stepped it up. I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
I think they even had an ad. They're running an ad about it now.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Tyler,
Yeah,
did you have
it's
them at
something
your
to brag
party?
about.
Did you have the square bottom ones at the party, or were they just regular like curly bottom tacos?
Nah, I think they were just regular curly tacos.
Ones that can't stand up.
No, they can't stand up
No.
on their own.
They fall apart.
They're not toddler tacos.
I see. I love tacos so much. I never realized that I have that big of a complaint with them until I start making it and try to put it on a plate, and it all just falls over the side.
That is the annoying part. But you know, if you want to get fancy, you get the metal trays.
Exactly.
You put them on, and then you build it real nice, no stress free.
And it's kind of like open-faced a little bit.
Ooh.
I have the strategy of building my tacos because I do flour tacos, right? So I
Yeah.
take my plate and I take 3 flour tortillas and I flap them so they're all against each other.
Oh my god.
So each like 3 in like a triangle, 1, 1, 1, and then from there they're all against each other. So it's open, not
Is
just
there like
flat
a
on
cup
it.
of guacamole in the middle or something?
No, nothing in the middle. Just against each other, and just slightly open. They're not flat. I'm able to just pick them up nicely. No issue. Build them right there,
Oh my god.
and I keep on moving from there.
Oof.
Remember a few weeks ago, Tyler, when I had you over and made tacos?
I do remember that. They were
So
good tacos.
I saw that they had those in the store, those stand-up ones, and I was too self-conscious. I was like, that's not authentic enough.
I thought you said that's not authentica enough, and I was like, what?
But now I've gotten over that, and I've
Tacos.
been thinking about it, and I really got to try those stand-up tacos because, you know, I like a mixture of hard and soft tacos, you know?
Same.
Yeah.
See, I'm a soft taco guy. All
Only?
about the soft taco, and you know what? Not even corn tortilla. It has to be flour for me.
Okay.
There's something about the flour tortilla that I truly love.
Yeah. I mean, I prefer it, I think, in most cases, unless I'm going to a place that makes their own corn tortillas and they're like real good, like Mission Cantinas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I have like they have to make their own. Like I don't like the store. Like maybe I'm just buying the cheap store bought corn tortillas, and maybe it's just that aftertaste that some of them have.
It's like
it's rough.
very
It's rough
like,
on the palate.
inorganic.
Gotcha.
Oh, but Frontera Grill, man, their street tacos. Oh, Frontera Grill street tacos are just so good.
I still haven't had that.
They're real. I'd recommend getting it because they give you a big plate. You get the beans, the cool little like the black beans come in this little like looks like almost like an upside down hat kind of thing, but it's a hard shell like corn tortilla, and then it's just open with the black beans, and you get like coleslaw, lettuce stuff, salsa, and rice.
There's a taco truck in Springfield, curbside cantina. They're pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've tried them twice.
Where do they pop up?
So normally they'll pop up by not too far from the courthouse on the I think it's West Columbus Ave, or the other side of East Columbus Ave, whatever that one's called. If it's just West Columbus Ave, I don't know. But they normally spot up over there by the riverfront.
Okay.
They're great.
Okay.
They are amazing. I follow them on Facebook. Sometimes they'll go to Queenie's Island Cuisine.
Are they just like teasing all throughout the winter months? Like, oh, we're coming.
No,
soon.
they're open.
They're still out there?
They're still out there.
We're coming for you.
This has like not even been winter. This has been like chilly spring.
It has been.
Yeah.
Like,
It's been very mild. We had that
appreciate
initial
you, man.
snow back in early December, and since then there's been like maybe a few here and there, a couple inches, but we haven't seen anything like that.
don't jinx it.
Yeah, knock on. We're supposed to get this weekend, Thursday.
I want it. I want a snow day.
I don't.
No, I'm all set.
You good?
Last snow day we got, I got plowed in for like 2 days. I was like, are you kidding me? They didn't even plow my street.
Then I got a shovel. I don't got a machine like Tyler for Christmas, so it's
Pretty nice.
he hasn't used
Oh yeah,
it yet,
he's literally just like got this
I used it
really
once.
nice snowblower.
he used it for like a flurry of snow, and
I used it too. Yeah.
It'll pay for itself in 13 years.
Oh yeah, totally.
Is it in the garage? No, shed. Is
It's in the shed. Yep.
Oh, good call. Gotta keep it nice
And welcome everyone. This has been the Level with You Taco Show.
If you didn't know,
We're
this
Taco Cast.
is a video game podcast where the four of us get together each week and talk about, you guessed it, video games. And this week, we've been playing some of Plague Tale Innocence, some Children of Morta, some DBZ Kakarot, the new card game from Riot, which I forget the name of, and we got a bunch of news to chug through too. We'd appreciate if you liked the video, if you subscribed, if you told your friends, if you're a friend or family member. Come on, don't you feel bad about not doing it? Okay, just kidding.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate you.
So, guys, what we've been playing. Should we start with one that Kenny and I have both been chugging through, and he's actually completed already, A Plague Tale Innocence?
I think we should.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts?
I really enjoyed this game.
Yeah.
I'm glad in a way. It felt slightly short, but I don't. Once you play it through, like there really isn't much more that I feel like could have been told within the story. Some of the chapters were kind of a breeze to go through. They maybe lasted 15 to 20 minutes.
For sure. They're definitely like at a steady clip. You're not like... So far, they haven't dragged it all, except for maybe that one where you were going across the giant field of rats, the battlefield. That was a little dragged.
And I enjoy the concept that there's almost barely any combat to this game. A lot of it is just the story driving it through and just stealth. And you're really this girl who is just trying to survive and keep her brother safe. And the plague rats are amazing to see.
Cool.
They kind of gave me anxiety at times, and I was like, oh my god, like I don't want to get killed by these things. Because it's a quick instance. Like this game plays no games. Like you get caught by an enemy, you're being killed with one slash. It's not that you can dodge or try to just fight them. Nope. The moment they got you, your sword through your stomach. Yep. Or the rats get you, you're being eaten by hundreds of rats within a second.
It sounds boring. What is the stuff that drew you guys into it? What made you, for the uninitiated, it's on Game Pass?
It is on Game Pass. It came out, I want to say, fall last year. Got some critical success, but kind of got overshadowed by a lot of the normal fall releases. It is a third-person, story-driven stealth adventure game where instead of action sequences, you're trying to maneuver around enemies. There is some combat, like you have a sling, and you can you get different upgrades as the game progresses. Like sometimes you've got to get past these guards that are wearing a helmet, and you get this crazy stuff that will burn their helmet off, and then you can throw a rock at their head and they die.
Oh, that's funny. So is this whole game, since you have a sling, is it kind of like a metaphor to David and Goliath kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or is it like...
Never thought of it, but maybe.
I just thought of it when you said rock in the head, and I was like, I don't know that.
Yeah.
That Streetlight Manifesto sound.
So you play as a young girl, maybe 13, 14, and
I'd say about 14 or 15, yeah.
And she is the daughter of a lord, not quite royalty, but very privileged, and her castle is besieged by the English. You play as a French character. It's kind of takes place in the actual years of the plague, the bubonic plague, which I looked up. I think that was from 1347 to 1351. This game takes place in 1348. So obviously it's taking some liberties and adjusting history and making it all about insane swarms of rats.
Yep.
But so similar to the other game that I recently played, Life is Strange 2.
I was gonna say it's siblings.
Yeah, like there's siblings like that. There's a tragedy at the beginning that forces you to flee, and their relationship is honestly kind of similar too. You're sort of the tough big sister that's got is a little worldly, and your brother has something wrong with him, that he's been very isolated, and he gets these like splitting headaches, or you don't really know exactly what's going on. So he's been like kind of isolated in his ivory tower his whole life, and so everything's all new to him. It was nice to play a game that these are the types of games that I really like, Uncharted and The Last of Us, and you can definitely see some of the Naughty Dog influence there as far as like the upgrade system being simplistic but rewarding for picking up and searching different nooks and crannies around the world. Like it doesn't blow me away. Like right now I'm in chapter 11. Kenny, you said that I still have several more to go.
Yes.
Yeah. Like for a Game Pass game, this is like ideal because it's something that it's just part of the subscription. It's it's a genre that I'm comfortable with. It's an enjoyable story. It's well acted. I think the characters are pretty strong.
Yeah. I definitely say Game Pass for a new Game Pass entry, it's amazing. Amazing game. I recommend people install it, give it a shot, play through it. The story is great. The very few slight boss battles that you have in the game. If you want to call it boss battles. The first one
was bad. That was actually, now that I think about it, that was my, where you have to like chip away the pieces of his armor. I thought that was like,
that was rough.
Yeah.
It was truly rough, and you're at the beginning, you're like, crap, I just learned how to use this sling. It was definitely rough, but what? I didn't see any other way. Like, I was saying, what was she supposed to do? Pick up a sword and learn how to use a sword against this veteran, knight? Yeah. Like, it wouldn't have been believable. But this bulking man who barely has, who most likely has almost not that great movement, that was a little more believable. Trying to get around him, knock off his armor, till you expose like the head.
The AI in the game is, and this is sort of makes it feel like a throwback a little bit. It's so predictable. Yes. Like the enemies are doing their routes like exactly like back and forth. Like there's no variation. There's no like trying to make a facade where they're actually thinking, which a lot of games do now.
So there is a slight change.
Yeah.
So it all, like, as long you're a seasoned player. So when it comes to some of these stealth games and things like that, I'm not. Right. I truly dislike playing stealth games because of my impatience. So there was a couple moments where I was seen and they caught small glimpses of me. So then the person came out of his routine and then actually started investigating the area where I was last seen in a very unpredictable manner, where I didn't know where he was going to walk to next. He wasn't returning back to his routine.
Okay.
So when seen, they become very unpredictable.
Okay, fair enough.
But if you're not me, and you're not impatient, and you got the patience of a saint, and you're like, that's the routine, that's the predictability, you'll get through without being seen. But I was like, I think I could make this one. Though Tyler watched me play, and I was trying to make tight windows, like where he was like, you're super close to that guy, and I'm like,
I got it.
I'm like, I'm right there. I think I died like 4 times in one section just because I was being super impatient and I was just trying to make tight windows. Instead of waiting a split second more for them to fully pass me, I was like trying to gun it.
I feel like I know what section you're talking about. Is it when you're trying to
get under the
bus?
No, it's when you're freeing somebody and then you've got to escape the place.
Actually, I don't think that's not.
I do appreciate how vague it is.
No, that's not the part, because I remember what the part is and you're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep. Because it's chapter 13.
Okay. I'll keep my eyes peeled.
Yep.
But like what I was saying, it being like a throwback, and it also reminds me of like when I was playing, it reminded me a little bit of Limbo and Inside, because those games are very, watch the enemy, you're defenseless, you can die in one hit, and you watch them do their patrols and you're trying to blend in. And I feel like the games in the AAA space, which this game certainly looks AAA, is you don't see as much anymore. So it was kind of fun doing MGS style stealth, or that I haven't seen a lot of lately. So
Scratch that itch.
Scratching that itch. There you go.
Do you think which first boss was a little rougher to you? This first boss or Death Stranding's first boss? Because I heard those boss fights are a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, so Death Stranding is first boss is at least you got the spectacle to go with it. Like, it's very impressive from a visual perspective. So while it mechanically is frustrating, I still would give that one the edge, because this one I was just like, I was just kind of like rolling my eyes, like trying to figure out exactly where I had to hit, and like this boss just going through the same animation, like, oh, let me raise my sword, I missed you again.
Yeah, because it truly doesn't telegraph it at first, and it doesn't come out and say knock off his armor through these spots,
Yeah, and like I knocked the first piece off, and then there was like I kept shooting it and I wasn't hitting the second piece off, so I was like, am I doing this wrong?
Like it's, if you're not at the right angle, even if it's kind of popping up yellow or highlighting it, if you're not at the right angle, you're not gonna hit it. That's something I've caught on to. I'm like, well, that's understandable. This isn't the movie wanted. I can't curb rocks. Like I got a sling. If he's turning his back right at the moment I'm letting go, I'm not gonna hit it. It shouldn't phase through him to hit it. So I appreciated that. Some games would have just been like, well, you highlighted it and you just shot it at the right moment. Even if he turned his body, you should still hit it.
It doesn't baby you at all. It seems it doesn't have like this little thing that says make sure you aim for the guard's helmet to knock it off.
Well, the people
there's a little hand holding.
There's slightly. They'll tell you like, you have like either a companion that's like, well, this is what I crafted, and I've made up this recipe that you could just craft whenever you want and put it to use to take off the helmets or to get rid of the
your
rats.
Character probably even says something like, I got to get his armor off.
That's cool. Yeah, I kind of like that. I like it when it's more like in game rather than the game just like flat out stopping and being like, hey, do that.
Yeah.
Idiot.
That's why I never get frustrated when a companion like in an Uncharted game's like, hey, look over there, because like they're just standing there not doing shit while I'm running around the room trying to figure it all out. So
hey, Drake, get me pictures of Spider-Man. No, that's never mind.
All right, so that's A Plague Tale: Innocence. It's on PS4, Xbox, and I think PC.
Yes.
And now I want to hear about the new card game from Riot. What is it called?
Legends of Runeterra.
Okay.
It's pretty good. I played last night when I was supposed to be fiddling with Illustrator. I was like, I want to play video games then. So I installed Legends of Runeterra. It was really quick. It installed like within 10 minutes. It's its own little client. You just make a Riot's game account. Same guys that made League of Legends. So if you have a League of Legends account, you use that same one. Boots right up. It's really nice. Like the graphics it flows great. Anyone who's played a digital CCG before, like Hearthstone or anything along those lines, basically looks almost exactly the same, except it runs on a different system. You have your champions and then your like little minions guys, and your champions can level up. I think any cards actually that you play into the field, it runs on the same kind of like Hearthstone mana system, where like every turn you and your opponent both get a mana, and cards cost X amount to play. You play it onto your field, but that's not the field. You have like a little kind of like backup area, and then there's the regular field. So each turn you kind of like, each round is what they call it, you take different turns attacking. So like say whoever starts can play a card, but they can't attack. So it's like my turn first, I have enough mana, I play like a 1 mana card, then it round skips, it's the next person's round. he plays something, the attack counter goes over to him. He's able to place cards. He can attack if he wants. He can pass. It'll come back to me and kind of just rinse, repeat. You can block, kind of like Magic the Gathering. You choose which units you want to attack. Kind of like, not really lanes like what League of Legends is known for, but you can just place cards down into the battle area from your like little subset hub that you can like pull them into or out of. It's really, I definitely check it out. It's interesting.
So you're a Hearthstone player.
Mm-hmm.
Is this something that you could see latching onto
Oh,
like
yeah.
you have with that?
Mm-hmm. I was watching, actually, I started watching some like deck building guides too. They were like, oh, and I haven't even unlocked the full like game yet because I did the 4 basic tutorials it throws at you in the beginning. Okay. And then it's like, oh, here's a like tutorial road, like complete all these things and you'll get all like the basic cards and decks and stuff. And I like that. I think that's really cool. So maybe I'll stream that at some point, or I'd love to just continue like seeing where it goes if they have like structures like ranked match with Hearthstone, or
maybe I might join you because I definitely jumped into Hearthstone when it first came out. I love card games, of all types, of all kinds. So maybe I'll jump in because the only reason I haven't gone back to Hearthstone is because
you just if you leave, man, it's so
I
hard
left
to get back.
and I've been gone for so long.
It's hard.
You know.
The meta totally different now.
Oh my god!
I would have to learn the new meta, just try to grind out for the new cards from the newer expansions and stuff.
What upsets me is that the missions that they give you in Hearthstone is they don't really give you enough gold or like missions daily to get enough gold for packs. Like packs are 100 gold, but I think depending on, I don't know if they've increased the amount at all you do for quests, but you only get like 60 gold per quest.
And that was super frustrating when I played because I was one that I picked up. I paid for the first 2 expansions.
Yeah, same.
That like.
I dropped a lot of money on Hearthstone.
Like I didn't buy packs, but the first 2 expansions I paid. Yeah. And I played it out. I played against the bosses to get the cards,
the special ones because you needed those. Those were using all the decks. And then once they did the same thing that like Magic does, where it's like a standard versus an unlimited format, except they call it like standard or wild. No. So like all the cards I have now, or most of them, unless they're from the most recent 3 or 4 sets, are wild. And then the most recent sets are standard. Along with the base set.
So I definitely fallen off with Hearthstone, but it was definitely something I was into at first. I was really playing it a lot. I had it on my PC and I was like really into it. Fell off of it and just never returned. Like I'm like it's tough. I don't want to try to learn the meta. Try to go back and figure it out.
It's all people net decking anyway.
You got a fresh start now.
Yeah, that's
fresh
true.
Start because...
That's what I liked. But yeah, I missed the Hearthstone, like basic vanilla Hearthstone with just the base set. Like that's like people were running different decks. I mean, Hunter kind of topped that from what I remember was in like base vanilla Hearthstone.
Is there any monetization now? Sorry, I had to get that in there.
No, that's okay. What's the monetization with
this free-to-play card game?
I haven't gotten too far into it. I mean, I'm sure there's probably like packs and stuff you can buy.
Most likely.
Okay.
Because if it's free to download, I guarantee they're going to be like, hey, but you can pre-order it, which I thought was neat. You can pre-order the app already on Android Play Store, but on Google or on or Google Play, but on Apple you can't download it or pre-order it yet. Because I looked for that immediately. But that's really cool that they already kind of have plans. That's a big thing for me too. Is like Hearthstone wasn't out for like. It came out on PC, then 2 or 3 years later, finally dropped on the phone.
Yep,
was like,
I remember that.
Same game.
Because I picked it up and I logged into it on when it dropped on the phone. I kind of returned because of the phone
you get special
app.
packs for playing on phones too.
Yep. So the first time you play on the phone, you got the 3 packs and things like that. The login as pack specials. I jumped right back in. I was like, it's on the phone. I could play it at work, things like that.
I get frustrated anyway.
Exactly. I remember like yesterday, my mage deck. That was my go-to. So I'm definitely gonna check this out with you. I'm glad to know that it's out, that I can go create it and just install it on my PC, on my new gaming PC.
It's true.
Say the new name.
Legends of Runeterra.
Cool. Legends of Runeterra. Okay.
I recommend checking it out.
New trading card game from the folks at Riot League of Legends people. All right. Real quick, Tyler, you been playing anything or?
Nah, I haven't been playing too much different. Just been practicing Smash here and there.
So who you been trying to get good with?
I've been messing around with Byleth a bit. Byleth, Inkling, and occasionally Pac-Man.
Yeah, I see you play him a good amount.
But mainly Inkling is like the one character I'm trying to get really good at.
Okay.
Inkling's got a lot of potential. I really like Inkling because the more the more ink that you get on the opponents, the more damage they take.
Yeah, it's like a multiplier. The more ink, the multiplication increases for the damage that you do. But you can run out of ink, and then your attacks use ink, and if you don't use ink with your attacks, then they do like nothing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Always, do you know how to refill? It's like down in A, I think, or no, guard down.
I mean, if you're empty, you just hit special. If you aren't empty, you do special and shield at the same time.
That's
to
what
refill.
it is. I didn't know that for the longest time, and I was like, "Oh, I love angling," but I'd have to wait till I
literally
ran
just
out.
learned that like a month ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And speaking of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, you can catch us all playing it on Sunday evenings for Super Smash Sundays on twitch.tv/levelwithyou from about 6 o'clock to about 9 o'clock. You can hop in, play some 1v1s with us. So yeah, check that out.
I can't wait. I
We'll
can't get out there
together.
So
I can't get out there with Joker. That's my main. I'm sticking to it.
I got to play on Friday and Saturday because I actually only played one match on last Sunday because I got kicked back and I could only participate for half. So hopefully I get some more quality time in with you guys.
Hell yeah.
No problem. We'll be there.
Oh yeah, we'll be good.
You know.
And I was playing on the handheld because PC couldn't reach for the Discord chat, so I was like, oh, all right, I'm gonna.
We need you to get that headset in for the phone. Just connect it.
I'm gonna have to, or I have the Bluetooth headphones.
You
about?
got Bluetooth headphones. Just connect.
But I have the mic. No, because then I have to find a whole thing for my microphone.
Why don't you just use your regular headset for your phone?
I can't plug it in because it's a stupid iPhone. They don't have plugs.
And that's what I mean. Like the one that came with your phone.
Oh,
The regular phone headset.
You're right. Okay. Yeah.
You can just plug that one into your phone and jump
You're
into
right.
the chat.
That's right. Okay.
The first time we did the Discord, that's how I did it with my actual Samsung, the headset that came with my Samsung.
See, I always forget that because iPhone doesn't have I'm used to when you have the iPhone getting like the old one had that little jack there. Now it's just the stupid
their headset just goes right in there. Just make sure you charge your phone before.
Yeah. That's true because then I can't charge it while using it. Man, the future's something.
Word.
I don't know.
So, Game Pass had a good week because the other game that I've been playing is called Children of Morta. This came out late last year. Again, it's one that I think maybe got overlooked a little bit, but it's got really positive word of mouth. 2D top-down action RPG dungeon crawler, roguelike with a surprisingly detailed story that's been really making me want to progress farther and not get so frustrated when a run ends quicker than I wish that it had. So you start off this game with just two characters that you can play as, one with a bow, one with a sword. You quickly will unlock a second attack that you'll use by pressing Y. That is kind of a big AoE attack that really damages a lot of enemies. This is a game that there's a lot of monsters on screen and it can get overwhelming, so you kind of want to you can run through every area, but then you're just going to be so overwhelmed if you can't find your way out. So you kind of want to go a little bit at a time, aggro a few of these enemies, take care of them, and just kind of methodically go through the dungeons. So I've just been finding the combat loop really satisfying. It is a little bit simplistic. I'm kind of wanting it to take that next step. I probably put in 6 or 7 hours at this point, and I'm still really liking it. I'm going to go home and play it tonight most likely. But I'm kind of I'm really wishing I had somebody there to play it with me, because it's a two-player. As far as I know, it's only two-player.
Couch co-op, right?
Yeah, couch co-op. Does not have online play, which I'm sure that was mainly due to budget reasons.
Yeah, my understanding, I think, is that they're working on attempting to see if they could, instill with a later update the online co-op. Yep.
That would be huge because the game is tough. There are times where I'm like, wow, there's really too many enemies here for it to be fun, because I'm just sort of running away, and you want to be on the offensive in these games the majority of the time, and there are times where you can get so overwhelmed, and it's not necessarily hard, but you can kind of get in the pattern of just, I'm gonna wait for my special to the cycle, the cooldown to end, so I can use it again, run away for a little bit, maybe do a little slash, and then wait for the big attack again. But overall, what really makes the game memorable is that in roguelike games like this, you die, you maybe get an upgrade, you try again. They almost have a sort of, I don't know, mean-spiritedness to them, because you're playing as a character who in most video games, they're big heroes and they live to the end of the game and they're overpowered. And in a lot of roguelikes like Rogue Legacy, and not to its detriment, but you're dying constantly and you're leading a long lineage of people that have died before you every time you die. And I'm sure that once I get a little bit further in the game, I won't get a story-based cutscene for each run. But now pretty much either I'll stumble on something in one of my runs, I'll find a dog or something, and then they'll take the dog back in, and now he's in my house base, and like the kids were playing with the dog and it was all good. Or maybe it'll just be some flavor with the wife and the husband sharing like a nice moment or something. And when you die in it, you get revived, so you're not really dying. And so I've kind of like that more lightheartedness to it of like a roguelike. And also when you beat a level in this, you don't necessarily need to. You actually beat it. Like you go to the next level, and then you're trying to finish that as opposed to starting from scratch.
That's good. I like that. That sounds a lot more appealing than going like the Rogue Legacy, going all the way back and like having to go right, back to where you were. Hopefully.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's like it's similar to Rogue Legacy in that you're upgrading your health and your damage output, and you're finding unique things on each run that are giving you pretty significant advantages. Like it doesn't have the variation of something like a Binding of Isaac, which is just amazing with it. It's in terms of like the run variety. It's definitely not on that level, but I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I want to keep playing it. Like, I mean, I have a lot left to go. I've only beaten 2 bosses. I'm stuck on the 3rd boss right now, and I want to have one of you 3 help me beat it because...
We got you.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
Hell yeah. Speaking of, so I have a question that I've had on my mind. I keep forgetting every podcast, but say I got like a $15, $30 gift card, like Xbox gift card or Microsoft Store gift card. Could I use that towards re-upping my Game Pass subscription?
I'm pretty sure.
Yes. So you'll credit it. It'll go into your wallet. And then afterwards, I think you'll still need a card on file.
Right, yeah.
So because they need to, after the money's out of your wallet, they need a card to charge. So, but as long as they'll take out from you should be able to set it to take out from the wallet first and then to the card.
Do you have to have gold to get Game Pass?
No. Okay. No, but honestly, if you're gonna just do the single player games and just do Game Pass, if you're gonna try and play online as well, do the Ultimate.
Yeah.
Especially especially even if you already did the free trial, you might be able to get the free trial again. Most likely because it's been a couple months since you tried it. Yeah, might be able to get one of the promotions. I think they're always doing the $1 for 3 months or $1 for a month.
I think that's like ending soon. I don't know. I could be wrong.
They rotate between so what they do, they rotate between the promotions. So they'll go $1 for 3 months, and then they'll just come back to $1 for a month. Or try 14 days free. Like, so they rotate between like 4 different promotions for a while. So
for new people,
for new people, or once you go past a couple months, then you'll be able to try not the 14 days free, but pick it up again for the smaller price.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah, but you gotta go a couple months without it.
Okay.
To try it.
Word.
I have to check that out when I get home.
All right, so that was Children of Morta. Now, do we have...
Before we move on, so Madden Monday, we had somebody in the chat spent the last like 2 hours in the chat just rooting me on while I went on like a 4 or 5 game win streak. Want to give that person a shout out. Blinktastic out in Twitch. Thank you for joining in yesterday. They subbed to our YouTube channel. They didn't sub to the Twitch, but followed the Twitch. Appreciate you. Thank you for making the time as fun as it was yesterday.
Word. That's what's up. Yeah, I popped in there a little bit too. I'm Dorf on a Bender, if you didn't know.
Yeah,
that's my...
I didn't know for the first solid like 2 or 3 streams. I was like, who is this? I thought it was my friend Cody for a second. He loves dwarf stuff. So
I didn't know either until Tyler told me.
Yeah. When we first started streaming, I got Tyler so good. Like a few years ago, I was having this like half-hour conversation with him, and then like I gave it away at the end that I was like not.
You want to see something really cool? Yeah, it's me. Oh,
I just remember him saying, "God damn it, Wiley."
Got you good.
So, do we want to do a little update on Kakarot? I know we've kind of talked about that a lot the past couple weeks.
Yeah, can you beat it, right?
I beat it, and I just did the last secret boss.
Oh, nice. Did you 100% it?
Honestly, to get the last couple achievements is just little things. Like, I gotta go crush all the rest of the rocks, that are hiding the caves. And I think I gotta summon Shenron like another 2 times and have one more full course meal by Chi-Chi, and then I got all the achievements.
Wow.
So it's just like minor things to go back and do.
Grindy stuff.
Little small grindy stuff.
Too bad you didn't get it on PlayStation. Then you'd have a platinum.
Well,
More exciting.
It's
I'll get it for you,
it's a
don't worry.
diamond, you know, like
That you just made up.
I'm calling a diamond. Xbox, call me.
Yeah. TM.
They should update that,
Yeah.
But whatever.
Like-
Well,
Masters
I
achievement.
really like the difference in sound when it's a rare achievement.
I do like that. Yeah, that is
Yeah,
neat.
so the achievements
It's
will
like,
just be
whoop.
like bleep, right? But then when it's a rare achievement, it's like something
Yeah.
something like
Cool.
that. Like
That is neat.
you're like, oh, a rare achievement.
No better
And
way
then
to set up that dopamine fix than a nice
so-
different sound.
Oh yeah, I'm like, oh
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Then
Yeah.
it pops up with the achievement and tells you only 7% of gamers have this. I'm like, yes.
I think the last time I got one of those was Lonely Mountains Downhill, and I should get back to that. That was another game where the progression just took forever, but cool game.
It's one of those relaxing ones. Ease into it.
True. All right, so now it is time to move on to Cruising for News, in the part of the show where we go through the biggest stories happening in the video game world and talk about them, read about them, and banter about them, like we do here at the Level With You show. Number 1 on the list today, no new Switch in 2020
Womp womp.
via CNET. So there's been lots of rumblings about a Switch Pro coming out to sort of compete with the new Series X and PS5. And this quote comes via CNET. Even though Sony's PS5 and Microsoft's Xbox Series X are out in 2020, Nintendo won't be releasing a fresh Switch model to compete. Nintendo boss Shuntaro Furukawa told investors that the company has no plans to release another version of its hybrid console this year. The Japanese company will instead focus on the existing models, the Switch and the cheaper portable-only Switch Lite, which have sold a combined 52.48 million units and which overtook the Super Nintendo Entertainment Systems in lifetime sales during the last quarter. Even though we won't see a major console revision, there's a special version coming out to celebrate the arrival of Animal Crossing New Horizons in March. I like this story because it's like 3 stories in one.
Mm-hmm.
We get the story about no Switch Pro. We get the story about over 50 million units sold for the Switch, which is crazy.
That's a lot.
And then we get the Animal Crossing
That's
Switch edition.
By all means, I have 2 Switches at home, the light and the regular one.
Mm-hmm.
So the Switch is amazing. And I'm not surprised. This console has been downright amazing.
yeah. I bring it everywhere with me. I brought it here. It's right there. I brought it with me today. It's been in my backpack all day at work.
I wonder if it's in the
Backpack
shot. I
all
don't know.
day. Maybe. I don't know. With my banana. Can you see my banana? I got a banana here too.
Yeah, I don't think this was the right time. I think they can hold off another year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would have been real money hungry if they would have tried to just drop a Switch Pro,
Yeah.
like they literally switched, then Switch Lite, then a Switch Pro. It would have been like back to back,
Oh, yeah.
like damn.
I don't
Yeah.
much improvement.
Like give
really.
us a break, and we're gonna be all over your games this year.
Fix
Let
your
us-
drift.
Let us focus on just the games.
Yeah.
Then drop the Pro on us.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to compete from a power standpoint with the Series X or the PS5 to begin with, so might as well wait for, the tech to get even cheaper another year down the line when people are actually starting to say, like, hey, like, these games look way worse than the new stuff. Like, maybe Nintendo would be smart, because I know we're going to get one eventually.
Oh yeah.
I mean, every portable Nintendo system ever has had some sort of revision.
I hope they just don't do what they did with the 3DS, where it was like, oh, hey, if you want to play the new Xenoblade Chronicles remake for 3DS, you have to get the new 3DS. And I was like, I want to play that game. I didn't buy the original for Wii, but I didn't have a new 3DS at the time.
They did that with one of the Fire Emblems. Remember?
With Awakening? Or no, they did that with, was it the one after that?
It might have been Awakening.
The first one?
No, that works on a regular thing.
So
Yes.
it was one of them that said on the new.
I think it was
3DS.
the Warriors one, like the fighting.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was the Hyrule Warrior. Or not Hyrule
No,
Warriors.
not,
the Fire Emblem
Warriors.
Heroes,
Was it that one?
Or something like that. It might have been. Or even Legend of Zelda one, because they had the Zelda Hyrule Warriors.
I think
that
it was
worked.
Zelda that you're thinking of.
It was a Fire Emblem one. I'll check it up and I'll let you know later.
All right.
But one of the Fire
Let us know
Emblem
in the
ones
chat.
right at the end,
Yeah.
at the tail end of the 3DS, like
Yeah.
it was only playable on the new 3DS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the two, because they had I think they started doing the Pokemon route towards
Yeah,
the
there was
3DS.
two of
There was
them,
like two versions for
Two
Fire Emblem.
two halves. Yep.
I mean, you say that, Anthony, but then when are they ever going to have a real upgrade?
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, I'd love it, but not just for one game.
not just for one game.
Yeah, but so it's continuously roll out. Because for a while, and they did, said, the end of the Lifespan Plus, when Sun and Moon came out, I remember that's when I ended up shelling out for a new 3DS, because my old 3DS was the XL, and it processing power or whatever it had was it really slowed down. So I was like, I'm just gonna drop the money, buy the new 3DS, and so and it worked a lot better. Like even going back trying to play like Pokemon X and Y on my old 3DS was just like, well, this is a lot slower. Because I just downloaded the other day Uncharted and what was the other one? I forget the other one was last month. There was something.
I forgot.
It's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that good. Apparently, it didn't hold my attention.
Honestly, I'm excited for this month because I almost bought the BioShock collection, and when I saw it, I was like, oh damn, I didn't buy it. It was on one of the sales for the Xbox. Then I'm like, oh wow, PS Plus free game is like they were like, oh, you didn't buy for the Xbox, come play on PlayStation.
Yeah, there you go. You can get trophies, get that platinum.
Yeah, get the platinum.
I don't have a platinum yet. I'm not gonna get a platinum.
You will someday.
You will. You got this. Just get really into one game.
Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll just start grinding for Kingdom Hearts.
There you go. Ooh, I know. I got critical mass so hard, man.
Honestly, I think that this is the week I'm done with a Plague Tale. I haven't started another game. I did my Madden Monday yesterday. I think I'm gonna sit down and play Remind. I'm gonna buy it.
Oh, good. I really want to.
And play Remind.
Okay.
I gotta get into it.
Spend $30 on a bunch of recycled content. Go ahead.
Remind. Get it?
Yeah. I'm just saying what I've heard. All right. So the other PS Plus games for free, like he just mentioned, BioShock the Collection, The Sims 4, Firewall 0 Hour, which is supposed to be a pretty good VR game. So hopefully they keep up that trend with the free VR stuff. Now I'll go over the Xbox games with gold real quick. TT Isle of Man available.
TT.
What is that? I think I miswrote that, but that's the first game available, and then Call of Cthulhu, which is the Lovecraftian game. I don't know anything about it, but I think it's supposed to be okay. That's available February 16th. Then what do we got? Fable Heroes. That's available now. I guess that's is that a 360 game?
Yeah, it's a 360 backwards compatible game.
Okay. And then we got an Xbox original, the original Star Wars Battlefront from 2004.
Yep. Huh. Backwards compatible as well.
That's whoa, what? Wow.
Are the servers still up for that?
I think they just started the servers back up.
That's
not that
awesome.
long ago.
That's kind of crazy.
Especially now with the backwards compatibility, they're supporting it back up.
That'd be a lot of fun to go.
And what's funny is that not that long ago they did Battlefront 2 for free on with Games Pass with Games with Gold. So now I own both of them.
Oh, both of the original ones for Xbox.
This one, and now I already have 2 already from Games with Gold. So now I have both of them.
Okay,
that's awesome. Well, I gotta check that out.
Go out and get your free games, people.
I make sure I get all my games, even if I'm never gonna play it.
Yeah, you might as well.
I don't see I'm gonna ever play TT Isle of Man or The Sims 4, but I'll be adding it to my library.
Why not? All right, so our next story, Pokemon Home details via GameSpot. You want to take this one, Anthony, Mr.
Sure.
Pokemon?
Let's see. It says Pokemon Home will be available in 2 tiers. You get your free and your premium tier. The former can be used at no charge and gives you access to most of the services features in a limited capacity. For instance, you can only store a maximum of 30 Pokemon in the free Cloud Pokemon storage plan, and you can only deposit a single Pokemon in the GTS or Global Trade System, which is coming back for the first time since I think the late they took it out for Let's Go, so I think it was like Ultra Sun and Moon, Ruby Sapphire. They had that, which is it's cool to see that come back. You can kind of put in, there's rumors of it's kind of always been the quality's down. Like you have some kid going on putting in a Caterpie asking for an Arceus, like very, very common Pokemon versus like mythical Pokemon. It's just frustrating. But hopefully this will be a little better. I saw some screenshots. I did a little research today, and it looks really cool because it's going to be mainly through your phone. You have to pretty much do everything through your phone, but it's got its own UI, and they're doing all original art for the Pokemon. There's gonna be a national dex, which I know a bunch of people clamoring for that. So
what does that mean? Like
it's just all the Pokemon now. Like that's why people were really upset at first when Sword and Shield won't have a national dex. That's like 800 something pocket monsters to model and all that good stuff.
But they're doing it.
This is just pretty much opening the door to be like, all right, we have a bunch of ones that are in the game already that you are going to be able to actually use in your Sword and Shield games by transferring them from Pokemon Bank, Pokemon Home. So Bank from your 3DS if you have it, which is another subscription-based service, which is really cheap. I think it was $6 per year.
This is a lot more than that.
Yeah, this is what it's going to be. I think
$16 for a year.
$16 for a year. $3 for a month, $5 for 3 months, $16 for a year. Whereas the Pokemon Bank was, I think, $6 for the year because it was just a little 3DS app you could use to pretty much put in any game from like the DS or 3DS era of Pokemon, shove it in the bank.
I still got my Pokemon Bank.
Same. I have mine as well, so I'm excited to throw this in like once this releases, which they didn't give a release date either. It's just sometime in February, so
That's weird.
It could be tomorrow. It could be at the very end of the month.
Could be 5 minutes ago.
It could be 5 minutes ago. That would be great. That'd be really cool. Because when I was researching it, I was getting hyped for it. I was like, ooh.
I'd jump in and start transferring from the Pokemon Bank right away.
Same.
Even though I don't have Sword and Shield, I'd do it right away.
Because you can just put it right on.
I don't believe you.
I have so many legendaries in the bank that I'm like, I gotta get it up there.
That's what I love about buying used Pokemon games. Taking all those old legendaries that they had before starting the new, then starting the new game fresh.
And I was lucky enough in some of those mystery trades. I got like, I think I got Mew in one, and I sent the Magikarp when I go.
Those guys.
I was flooding the mystery trade with Magikarps and Caterpies. Like
that's what when I was breeding for the shiny, at least I was like, okay, here's a Charmin. You guys have a Charmin, or I'd get a lot of bunk in return. But I mean, it is still cool. Like you send something crappy out, and you're like, oh, I got a starter.
Yeah, like I think I got all the Regirock, Regice, like level 1s versions of those. Like
that's crazy. Like, you can't breed those, so that's.
Listen. They hacked it. I don't care if they hacked it, but I got some level 1s of them. Like I'm like, fuck it, I'll raise them up from level 1.
They're great. Those guys are rad.
Because when you look at it, like you could start the game with them.
You could. That's what I say. I kind of like. I'm a little against starting with like legendaries because I feel like it just ruins it right out the gate. But unless you're just going for that straight up, like, all right, like playthrough,
destruction,
just destroy everything because it's already baby. Don't want to admit it, but Pokemon's a baby game for babies.
Yeah, true.
But I mean, online, that's what it's cool about Pokemon Home 2 is they can show your global ranking at any point too. They're gonna have a lot more. There's gonna be its own like decks in the game, like in the Pokemon Home, like it's the national decks. So that's kind of a completion incentive in itself to like fill up, like have you caught all the Pokemon in one spot, which I think is pretty sweet because now we have the old Gen 1s from Let's Go. Just throw right in there. I'm just really excited about it overall.
So you seem stoked, like you're not mad that you have to pay for it and stuff like that.
I mean, it does suck, but I kind of feel like since Pokemon Bank was already a paid service, I mean,
and you're used to it, but it's just like another extra $11.
Exactly. And I mean, I'm not sure if they have like a plan where if you already have both, I'm not sure if it like goes over to one, like if you have Pokemon Bank, but I think
they'll transfer the credit maybe.
Yeah.
If you let your subscription lapse, you can renew it and all your stuff will be there.
Oh yeah, they don't just like.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's what I was worried about because I had that before, and then when I bought Ultra Moon, I was like, oh crap. I was like, I had Pokemon Bank, but I don't know if I remember my info, and I put it in, like all my things were there. Thankfully, I don't know, it was like $6 for the year, so I was like, okay.
I actually have to do that. My subscription lapsed, and I just turned on the 2DS the other day, and I'm like, oh
crap. Yeah, I had my friends like Pokemon 2 that were in there. He traded before he restarted his like X and Y. I was like, oh, I'll take them. And then I think I just put them in the bank because I was restarting one of my games.
Okay.
So it was handy, but it's also just, it's like, it's another hurdle I want to play another hurdle I have to go through if I want to play Pokemon. But
honestly, there was a point in time I was trying to collect like almost all of them. So to the point where I had gotten the mini game from Pokemon White, or White 2?
Was it the one where you have to throw the balls?
With the mini game that you had on the side, then you transferred the Pokemon from there into White 2?
Yeah.
Or Black 2? Remember that mini game? I even got that mini game to try to get like the extra Pokemon or get the Thunder. You remember?
Oh yeah, because you had the legendaries in Black and White were like the Thundarus,
but to get their the super form or alternate form, you had to get it through the mini game.
See, I was like, when I got that into it, I was like, I like that, but I'm not gonna.
Oh man, there was a point in time I was grinding super.
Because every time I don't have it, I always regret it. I'm like, oh man, I really want this now.
So I definitely, for some of them, for Thundarus and all that, I think I'm missing only one of the super forms. Yeah, like I grinded to that point.
I'm so jealous. Maybe we'll make some trades. Maybe we'll see if I got anything. Yeah, we pique your interest. Maybe like a 4-for-4.
Ooh.
And to cap the Pokemon news off.
Yeah.
So Pokemon Sword and Shield right now. Check it out. We got 2 days left. This goes until a limited time promoted raid event in Sword and Shield is Gigantamax Milceries. Milceries are the little white milk guys. I didn't even know what they were until like I think 2/3 of the way through the game when I realized that that's what Alcremie evolves from, the big cake looking Pokemon. It's fucking adorable. But they're promoted 3-star raids right now for Gigantamax Milcery. And when you beat them, you obviously have the chance to catch it. And you get a bunch of the evolution items with them. It's an item that you give to the Pokemon to hold. And with this Pokemon, its evolution method, I don't know if it has to hit a certain level, beforehand, but you give the Pokemon the certain held item, and then you either spin with your character. It's like clockwise, counterclockwise for X amount of time during the day or night, and you get one of like 20-something different variations of All Creamy.
Oh, wow.
It's like mint chocolate chip, mint swirl, strawberry cream, coconut mustachio, beanbag alada. There's like a whole bunch of them. Yeah, so that's going on now until, let's see, February 6th. So we got 2 days. Or 1 day if you're watching this tomorrow.
Damn.
All right,
awesome.
now we have a little bit of breaking news because we want to keep the show with the hot and current new hotness. This is a new tweet coming out about 2 hours ago from Jason Schreier. Holy shit, Dan Houser, one of the top creative forces behind Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption, is leaving Rockstar. And I guess he got hold of an internal memo within Rockstar that says, after an extended break in the spring of 2019, Dan Houser, Vice President Creative at Rockstar Games, will be leaving the company. Dan Houser's last day will be on March 11th, 2020. We are extremely grateful for his contributions. Rockstar Games has built some of the most critically acclaimed and commercially successful game worlds, a global community of passionate fans, and an incredibly talented team, which remains focused on current and future projects. It's kind of a big deal. Co-founder of the company, the lead writer on most of their games, including GTA 5, which is the third best-selling game of all time, and one of the two men most responsible for Rockstar's culture. His departure will undoubtedly have a lot of ripple effects.
So is this confirmed, or is this just like a leak?
It's confirmed. I mean, if Jason Schreier's saying it, it's like pretty much, yeah. So,
how do you think it's going to affect? I'm not too into I like Rockstar. I like playing Grand Theft Auto 5 occasionally, but not like super. You get Red Dead and all that. How do you think that's going to spin the ball from here?
I hope not too much, because Red Dead Redemption 2, which I know he had a big heavy hand in as well, which I know it had several writers on that one. I thought that was a real step forward as far as narrative goes for them.
Okay.
I thought it showed a level of maturity that the other games, the other games are very satirical, and this one felt grounded and sincere in a way that I appreciated, especially for like a Western. But what does it mean for Rockstar as a company? Hard to tell at this point. It's just kind of big news because it's a big time creative force behind arguably the most popular game developer in the world. I mean, they have a less of an output of games, but each game they come out with is a event, and there's not too many game developers like that anymore. So we shall see. I just had to add into the show because it's newsworthy. Another recent news item that popped up, and I don't have much to say because all there pretty much is a headline. If you heard of a game called The Wonderful 101, or is this just Wonderful 101?
I think it's Wonderful 101. Yeah. Either that, I'm not sure if there's the...
It was a real zany, quirky-looking character action or multiple, kind of like a Pikmin action game. I don't know. I never played it.
I never played it either, but I think it was a launch title for the Wii U.
I don't know if it was a launch title, but maybe it was. I don't know. I think it came out in 2013. I think Wii U came out in 2012.
Yep.
And
it was definitely on there.
So yeah, it died on the Wii U. Not a lot of people got to play it. They put up a Kickstarter, and it smashed all the goals in 4 hours. It raised over $1.5 million in 4 hours. They only wanted $250 to make a Switch version and $500 to make a PS4. So no issues there. So that'll be neat. I never got to play it, and
looking forward to trying it out on the Switch, just like with Fire Emblem Sharp FE. Or whatever.
It definitely looked interesting because and the reason for the Kickstarter was
Kickstarter.
I'm listening to myself in the headphones.
Dude, isn't it so weird?
Throwing me off.
Echo chambers, whoa.
But the reason for the whole Kickstarter was because Platinum Games is trying to self-publish the game rather than work with any other publishers, because Platinum is the developer of all the games. So that's the same team that made Bayonetta, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if they've got to have multiple teams because they're just putting out so much stuff. But it is one entity.
But they have a whole kind of quirky Kickstarter video saying "Oh, help us out and bring the Wonderful 101 back." He's like, "Help us self-publish our first game."
That's neat.
That's kind of cool.
That's cool. I'm down with that.
Yeah, it's not something you'd expect from a developer that's been published by Nintendo and Square Enix, and it's kind of neat trying to strike out on their own type of thing.
It'd be interesting to see. I'm excited to Hopefully,
Jump
play that
back
at some
in.
point soon.
Yeah, it reminded me of Beautiful Joe, but from the characters.
I love Beautiful Joe.
I love it too. I was watching a speed run of it recently, and
Ooh, that's a good one. I should check that out.
yeah, it was cool.
Those ways that those games are broken are nuts. Like I just watched one for Bioshock. I don't know if I told you guys about it. Like the first Bioshock the other day was beaten in like 40 minutes. Yeah,
that's a short amount of time.
Insane.
Yeah.
Damn.
Check out GDQ if you haven't seen it. Just type in GDQ. They just did one for 2020. Game's done quick. A lot of fun. Great background noise.
All right, so this next story I found on Kotaku, and I thought it was really cool. So I don't know if you guys can relate, but when I was in grade school, Flash games were all the rage.
Oh yeah.
In the computer labs, there was one that I used to play a lot where you played as like, it was like two semicircle things and you could jump, and it was essentially like volleyball. And I don't know what it was called, but like everybody in my class, I went to a private school, so there were like not very many people.
That's a good connection.
I think I know exactly the game that you're talking about.
Do you?
Where it was like, and yeah, it was like a volleyball game where you just had to jump to hit the ball back and forth over the line.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. Yeah, I played that.
Hell yeah.
That's so cool.
That's
I wonder
awesome.
what that one was called. It's probably on this collection. So for a long time, the internet was filled with games and animation, all built in Flash. But when the year ends, Flash will die, as nearly all major web browsers will remove Flash support on December 31st, 2020. I know. Luckily, all the content won't be gone thanks to Flashpoint, a project which has saved over 36,000 Flash games from disappearing forever. Back in 2017, Adobe announced that it would be stopped supporting Flash at the end of 2020. At least they gave you 3 years. The company spent the last 3 years working with other tech firms like Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, and Google to make the transition as smooth as possible. And while many games and apps have moved to HTML5 or Unity, many other games haven't made the jump or to newer, safer technology. And with less than a year left, most never will. And while Flash games might not be impressive today, they're still an important part of gaming history. These small web-based games can be directly linked to the later rise of mobile and indie games and help many creators get their feet wet with building and creating video games. Over at Flashpoint's website, you can find a section where you can download the full collection. It doesn't take up nearly 290 gigabytes of space, but you can also download a smaller version that only downloads games as you play them if you want to save room on your hard drive. That's cool.
Yeah, that sounds a lot more
Pretty
manageable
sweet.
rather than all this junk that I don't really want.
Yeah. So,
That's interesting. I like that.
any thoughts on this, guys?
That's great. I'm glad they're preserving it. I was actually worried. I didn't know when there was like a direct date cutoff for Flash to like die. So that is sad that we're coming to the end of an era. Like I remember one of my first internet experiences was going on like Newgrounds.com and looking at like the Flash cartoons they were playing. I used to play, it was like Stick RPG or something like that, where you was just top down view of like a little stick man. You can run around a neighborhood and you can go like work out at the gym or get a job or like get into a bar fight, and then you get a skateboard to move around faster. And, like that was just like mind blowing at the time. I was like, what
There were like the entire websites that they had, addictinggames.com.
Oh, yeah.
Things like that, where it was just full of Flash games.
What was the other one? It was like Mega Clip or something like that. Something Clip.
Yeah, I think so.
Weren't they on E-Bombs World too?
There's E-Bombs World. Yep. Mini Clip. That's what it was.
I remember my school attempting to try block out the Flash websites. And I was figuring out how to unblock them, and we'd sit there. There was like a Yeti penguin baseball one where like you hit the penguin and with a baseball bat as a Yeti and try to see how far it got.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that one? So we'd sit there like 5 of us and be like, 600 meters, let's go, let's get it.
That's all. Do you guys remember Kitten Cannon?
Oh, yep.
Where you'd shoot the
That was
kitty.
kind of the same thing, yeah.
Yeah, and would play. That's how I found out what Daft Punk was, because it'd play like the Daft Punk's "Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger" on the opening screen, and then you'd shoot a button and you'd shoot a cat out of a cannon. It was very gruesome, but it was a little stick cat. I don't endorse hurting cats. I love cats. I like dogs more, but I like cats. But whole point of my story is that's how I found out what Daft Punk was. And if you don't know what Daft Punk is, you should listen to them. They're great.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
so many like Smash video or Flash videos too. Kingdom Hearts Chronicles.
Oh
I
my
always think back to those ones.
Wow, you're Cloud from FFVII. Oh my god. That guy does spirit science now. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah, the guy who made the Kingdom Hearts Chronicles on Newgrounds is the spirit science guy.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's a fun fact for you.
I don't know what any of that stuff is, but that's okay.
Oh man, you had to be there. That was like growing up if you're like into the first Kingdom Hearts, you went on Newgrounds or like any Flash like cartoon website. It was like the Kingdom Hearts like Chronicles, and they had like 4 or 5 different ones, and just really dumb like 15-year-old humor like Kingdom Hearts. And then there was the other one I thought was the best at the time. Doesn't hold up well. Was like Legend of Zelda: Return of Ganondorf, something like that.
Okay.
It was like 15-year-old like slapstick, like just the hardest you've ever laughed.
Word, I'll have to check them out. So what I thought was interesting, the quote of this is that it says, later would be directly linked to the rise of mobile and indie games and help many creators get their feet. And I was thinking about it, like what made these games appealing at the time. Early 2000s, what was mainstream was these big, games were trying to be bigger and bigger, 3D, mostly action. Of course, there was other stuff, but there was not the type of experimentation and stuff that you see in terms of games today. And like there was a snappiness to the Flash games that I think the 3D games of that time were probably lacking.
Yeah. And
people were just like really entertained by physics-based stuff as well.
Yeah, like Interactive Buddy.
Yeah.
Or Fancy Pants Adventure.
So I can definitely see like how it had a major influence on that stuff. So kudos to Flashpoint for doing that.
That's rad. Keep up the good work.
All right, next story. It's been a good long show, guys.
Yeah.
Yep. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order beats expectations, closes out 2020 as a very pleasant surprise for EA, easily beating sales expectations and demonstrating that, yes, there are still plenty of room for good old-fashioned single-player narrative in the world of AAA video games. In a call with investors on Thursday, Chief Financial Officer Blake Jorgensen said EA expected Fallen Order to sell 6 to 8 million by March 31st, the end of their fiscal year, and they've already sold 8 million by the end of December 2019. Jorgensen said, so the company is raising its estimate to 10 million by the end of March. It's a very strong result for a single-player action game. Cool. Maybe EA will start doing more stuff like that.
Probably. I mean, I'm sure it definitely helped out that it was very... Actually, no, because it was all just straight single player. Like, there's no multiplayer, like not Dark Souls, jump in, I'm going to like grief you.
No, I wish.
Oh, wow. That's cool, though, because it's straight up, like... I would like to try it, but definitely when the price point gets a little... Or maybe like Game Pass or something.
Maybe.
Upcoming. Maybe PS Plus, who knows?
Yeah, I'll probably throw it up on...
EA Access.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, that subscription is even cheaper than Game Pass.
Really?
What is that, like 60 a year?
30.
30 a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's cheap. Man.
Yeah.
Oh. Holy poop.
It's 60 a year if you pay monthly because it's $5 a month.
Oh, okay.
30 a year if you pay out just for the 12 months completely.
Okay.
Any of the Fight Nights on there?
Actually, yeah, I think Fight Night round 3 from the 360.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Last year I played through Champion.
Or is it Champion? I don't know. One of the two.
Or I think that's the one that was like M-rated and had the gritty story.
Okay.
Def Jam?
No.
Fight Night.
The
really
boxing game.
Fun boxing game.
Yeah.
Me and Kenny played that. That'd probably not be a good idea.
I want to see. We'll get a couple drinks. We'll see where the night takes us. See where the gloves come on. Gloves come off.
We could even install UFC 3. We'll try that one out.
Never played any of the UFC games.
Really, it's on Access also.
Oh yeah.
So if you did give Access a shot, you'd be able to try out the UFC games. I'd take a shot at those.
Seems like it'd be so hard to translate that into a game. Like just like being.
Some of them play pretty well.
Yeah.
Like it's not it's not perfect, but they give a level of satisfaction to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it kind of like going from like a Mario Kart to like a Forza kind of deal? Is it like that kind of more like taking the cartoony aspect of like a fighting game and then putting into like UFC? So it's like Mario Kart cartoony to like Forza racing simulator.
Where it's like more realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
it's like you take a big lumpy thing of Play-Doh and then you shape it into like something solid.
Because you could bust somebody's eye open and like then
just fight over.
They could end the fight. You could see the person kind of like take some damage if they take a lot of damage to the body.
You start becoming a little unresponsive.
Unblocked. Your movements gets delayed and it gets slowed because of course if you taking a lot of core damage then to your core you're gonna struggle throwing a kick or moving around and everything. So I like it.
Cool. All right. So wrapping up our final story of the day, I'm gonna leave this one to our man Tyler because his reaction is what made me want to put it in the outline.
My reaction to
the Final Fantasy VII trailer.
Yeah, so FF7 got a new trailer, and let us know your thoughts, dude.
Did anyone else watch it?
No,
I did. Yeah,
I'm saving myself.
You didn't watch it yet?
I know. I really just want. I mean, we're close enough to the release where I'm just like, you know what? Because everything just gets shown in trailers and stuff now, so I might as well.
Yeah, I don't want to watch anymore.
Plus, if it's only Midgar, I just want to I just want to go in blind now. I've seen enough where I'm already definitely buying it, but I just want to wait to see any rest. I want to be surprised when I actually go through it and I'm like, whoa, that was different. Like, they didn't go that way. Or like, whoa, Tifa's boobs are just as big. Like that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been some controversy around Tifa's boobs already.
No,
people are saying that
we're past that. They're fine. They're proportional now. She still looks very good.
Oh, don't do it. All right.
They're saying they're saying they look different when she's in her battle gear, and I think they said they're bigger when she's in like a fancy dress.
Because they're being pushed up.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, well, that makes because that's the whole like the motif though of that whole like. Have these people maybe never played the original Final Fantasy VII?
Maybe.
Or they never seen boobs.
They never seen boobs. Yeah. But like I'm glad. Hopefully they keep that part like verbatim. Like you Cloud cross dresses as a chick. You got to go and infiltrate a little manor.
Do. That's in the trailer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Sorry to spoil it.
No, that's okay. Because I was like, that was one thing. I'm like, don't mess this up.
He looks real good.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of a
nip slip on his part.
No, a little homoerotic moment in the trailer as well.
I'm sure, because there's a whole scene in that thing where you get into a hot tub with a bunch of dudes where you have to get an item from doing that.
Oh, wow.
To, like, get chosen by the Dawn.
Okay.
To rescue Aerith and Tifa.
Shows the general with her legs up on another soldier. That was pretty interesting.
Oh, the one that has the bitch fight with Tifa?
I think so.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's going to be cool. I'm excited to see how they translate that.
Yeah, I mean, and then like the gameplay kind of stood out to me because it just seemed, didn't seem exactly like Final Fantasy 15. What it actually reminded me of was like Kingdom Hearts type combat.
Ooh.
Where just like the movement and the way the enemies kind of interacted with the environment, and because it showed multiple enemies on screen at once, and that kind of was like, oh well, that's kind of reminding me of how like Kingdom Hearts plays. And that was the one thing that stood out to me. I'm not sure how the inputs are going to be, whether like the attack and magic and everything like that for the characters is going to play out as. But that was one thing that I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I'm very excited to finally get my hands on it when it drops, even if it is.
It's like April 3rd, right?
Yeah.
Coming round the mountain. We got Animal Crossing, we got Doom, we got FF7, we got My Hero One Justice 2.
March 13th, baby.
Yeah, so I've been enjoying this kind of lull where we're going back and we're playing Game Pass stuff where there's not, we had Kakarot, but it's not like I'm not having FOMO right now because there's not so much shit coming out that's coming a few weeks from now. So
what'd you just call me?
No. All right, so that has been the Level With You show. We are coming for you, Studio 159. All right.
So before we close out, I'm gonna be streaming soon. Slay the Spire. I'm gonna set it up.
Yeah.
Wiley wants to see if it's true that I pretty much can get to the heart almost every single run through. I haven't played it in forever, so we're gonna run it.
Are you gonna do that tonight?
Not tonight, but I'm thinking I'll make sure I'm not streaming during the time Anthony was trying to stream. Maybe tomorrow night.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, whenever. I got some work I can catch up on this week, so whenever you want, you let me know and we'll work it out.
So now I am the only one without a setup at their home.
You have the thing.
Oh yeah, well I just haven't done it because I'm lazy.
It's okay, I got you. You can do it. We got this.
Yeah, but check out the channel. These guys have been doing a good job keeping it active, slowly growing. YouTube channel, slowly growing as well. If you want to subscribe to us over there, that would be great. If you want to find the audio-only versions, we are also on iTunes, the Google Place, the Spotify, the Podcast Addict. If you want to hear us anywhere else, let us know, and we'll make it happen. Thank you for tuning in. It's been the Level With You show. It's been a good time.
It's been real.
It's been a ride. There's a snake in my boot.
Stay level.
See y'all on the streams.